What's good, Internet? I'm Eric Marchel, and we are here live in downtown Detroit, Michigan for the 15th anniversary of Youmacon, and joining me at this time is a very special guest, Jim Foronda.
Hello!
So Jim, if you wouldn't mind, what are some of the credits to your name?
Oh gosh, where to start? I've been voice acting for, 16 years, 13 years if you count the stuff that I did when I was working in advertising for Hasbro.
Oh.
But, oh gosh, so most recently, I'll go backwards. I'm Claptrap in Borderlands 3, and Commander Lilith in the Viper Sanctuary, and the VR tutorial lines in Borderlands 2 VR. You can see me on Cartoon Network and Funimation streaming as N. Ringard in Black Clover.
Okay.
He's the Mushroom Magic Knight. Anyway, yeah, his talking much. Anyway, Muscular in My Hero Academia, and golly, I've done like a million bit parts. It's just in all the Dragon Balls, and gosh, I was Denny Block / Brosh in Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and basically I've done it. And a performance I'm super proud of. I was Geld, or the Orc Demon Lord, in That Time I Got Turned Into a That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. It's one of those multi-word titles.
It's a great. If you haven't had the chance to watch it,
I'm so proud of that one. But I've done character monster bit work for years, and I've just kind of like I'm a voice that you've heard, you just didn't know it was me probably. So but now now it's
yes.
Claptrap.
Especially getting into Claptrap in Borderlands 3, how has the reception been for you replacing David Eddings as Claptrap for the third?
It's been really positive. It's one of those things. It's like when I was a kid, and the first time I saw Muppet Christmas Carol, and it was the first time it was a non-Henson Kermit, and I saw the movie and I'm thinking, Kermit sounds different, but he still acted like Kermit. So it was, oh gosh, there are some people who, I can't sound like David. David has an iconic voice and an iconic performance, and nobody can sound identical to another person.
It's true,
but
they try to do impressions. It's your whole thing.
Exactly. It's not the same thing, but the character, you can become the character. It's like being a new James Bond or a new Doctor Who or a new Batman. There have been 31 Batman voice actors, if I remember correctly.
It is insane.
Yeah, and the thing is,
you can't tell half the time.
And every single one of those actors, anybody who takes on a role is dedicated to keeping that character alive when they're taking over for somebody. As I like saying, to fill that wheel was incredibly intimidating. And some people were not nice. But you know what? I love Claptrap as much as they do, and I want to keep the little guy alive. He's a good boy. He's misunderstood.
He's fantastic. He was so loved by the fans. He became a playable character in the pre-sequel. He's annoying to be in a party with. I'll say that because he just makes me fire all the bullets out of my gun.
But when I started recording, what they said is that they said, if people hate Claptrap, you did good. If people love Claptrap, you did good. So I've been taking that to heart. But I mean, people here have been super nice. They've been like super supportive. Online, people have been great. There's things that happen in the story and people's reactions to it that made me feel super good because I'm like, yeah, I wanted them to get that out of the performance. So it's been more positive than negative.
Good.
Yeah.
That's always good to hear, especially if you're thinking between the timelines of Borderlands. You would expect Claptrap to start downgrading a little bit over time, and maybe a voice change is inevitable.
Yeah, it's
a slight thing.
It's 10 years later. He's been beat all. Look at him in the game. He's smashed. He's been shot. But he's a trooper. He's a trooper. He's sticking with it. It's one of my favorite things in the game is when you listen to the radios, he tells the entire story of Borderlands up until Borderlands 3. And of course, it's the Claptrap adventures with Claptrap. And of course, he puts himself at the direct center of the story. So that was the last thing we recorded, and I was fully in the feeling the character by then. I was super nervous when we started out. And I don't know if you can hear it like in the very beginning during the tutorial. because in the tutorial we have to speak slower and clearer and more flat, because we're essentially telling people who have never played Borderlands before, because a lot of people start with 3, and we want to make it clear, here's how you play the game. And then later on, he's much more lively. So, yeah.
I gotta say, I don't know how much I can get away with on this, but I haven't gotten that far in Borderlands 3. I don't want to give any huge spoilers, but this is somewhat early on.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines is when the ship, you take off for the first time and there's a crack in the glass. My butt! I saved you all with my butt! Of course, you know, explicitive there.
Yeah. He, but Claptrap doesn't really use the word butt that often.
It's very true. He goes, he's a very straightforward, I'm going to say this, I don't care who's offended by it kind of character.
Yeah.
That's how he's always been. It's the charm to Claptrap.
That's been a favorite line of a lot of people. It's my butt. It's full of stars. Yeah, it's
so good.
It's a 2001: A Space Odyssey reference, and man, the writers are great. They put so much stuff in there, and oh god, it is so much fun to work with Gearbox.
Yes, Borderlands, Gearbox in general, they love putting callbacks, Easter eggs. They reference pop culture, different games. I believe Minecraft was a huge surprise to me in Borderlands 2. If you haven't, you need to explore every inch of that game to fully get the most out of it and understand the double rainbow reference. Number 2 is great. There's
a great weapon, the speed loading Hellwalker, and it's a Doom reference. And then every time you fire the gun, there's a metal riff. It's this fast loading. It's a legendary. It's a fast loading legendary shotgun. It's a Jacobs, and when you fire it, it's just
it's awesome.
It's awesome.
So for those who are unfamiliar with Borderlands, the weapons are one of the biggest features in the games, because you can get everything from guns that walk themselves around and shoot people till the clip is done, to just exploding on reload, which I've experienced a lot while trying to activate QuickTime markers, and I'll throw my gun because I'm not looking directly.
Teamers will kill you when you're trying to activate stuff.
Yes. So I've learned to swap off when I need to do those sort of quests. So getting back to the Hasbro, you've done toy commercials back in the day, and that's kind of where you started, or where you really got your role going?
That's where I started, because I did drama in high school, and I was in some some French productions and stuff in college and everything. But I originally went into advertising. I wanted to go to the film program, and then I realized, oh, gosh, I don't know if I can actually live on that, and so I went into advertising, but I came to Texas from Florida to write for the big Star Wars Episode 1 campaign for Pizza Hut. Yeah, so there was a friend I had made was working there, and he said they needed a writer, and he said, I'm just the guy, because I'm a big Star Wars fan and everything. And so they brought me out there, worked on that, and I was working on stuff like Pepsi and Pizza Hut, and then they needed somebody to work on a G.I. Joe, like a spec spot. That's where you make the commercial, and if they like it, then you might get some more business. And so we did one of the 12-inch G.I. Joe commercials. And we got that, and then we did a Transformer spot, and they liked that, and then eventually we got the whole business. But then, in 2002, we did a computer-animated G.I. Joe commercial, and it was like a full mini CGI movie. And they originally had some union actors in there. But the problem is that there was a budget miscalculation, and they couldn't use them. So they paid the actors for those session fees, but they didn't use their voices. And then they got everybody from the ad agency to pile in a booth and just read these parts. And we didn't slate our names or anything. It was just, here's all your Cobra Commanders, here's all your dukes. And they let Hasbro choose from those. And they cast me as a British reporter, Cobra Commander, Duke, Heavy Duty, and Destro. And then they found out that that was all me. And so as spots went along, it was, oh, you be that person. We'll just have to do it. And it was great job security. Until I got laid off in 2015. But anyway, between then, we had a new producer who said, you should do this on the side. And so I put a reel together of all the Hasbro stuff that I'd done. And I got an agent in Dallas. And the first thing I did for Funimation was, it was the cruise ship episode of Case Closed. I was the gold digging husband. I was the first person to get killed. And that was a fun character because that was the first jerk I ever played, if you don't include Cobra Commander, because it's also a jerk. But anyway, and that's how I got started.
Awesome. Now I'm going to be. I heard everything you're saying, but going back, I stopped at pizza. Now, what is your favorite pizza topping? And do you believe pineapple belongs on a pizza?
Here's the thing. I have family in Hawaii.
Okay.
I'm half Filipino. So I have family in Hawaii, and so, pineapple can be a pizza topping. It is not my type of pizza topping, but if you count hot sauce as a pizza topping, I will dump hot sauce all over a pizza. But if you're looking for an actual topping, I love a classic pepperoni.
Same way. It's perfect. Why mess with perfections? Every once in a while, I'll add a black olive on there, a little bit of black olive side. Yeah, mix a little veggie in the meat, but I love pepperoni.
I don't like briny flavors. Yeah, olives, no thank you.
Now, a good interviewer would have a segue to that.
Okay.
But I am not, and I don't. So, what brings you to Youmacon?
What brings me to Youmacon? Yes, a nice invitation.
Hey, that's all you need.
I love cons. I've been going to cons way longer than I was even voice acting. One of the things I miss about Hasbro is that they used to ask their vendors, their PR people, their advertising people, who wants to help out in San Diego? And I've been, me! And I did it for 9 years. That was, aside from like the salary and the health benefits, that was the third thing I missed most about getting laid off. But I love conventions. I love talking to people. I love meeting people. We did the Maid Cafe earlier. The Maid Cafe is awesome. There's like the crown has like this rainbow light up ceiling that cycles through. It's all LED. It's it's the coolest thing ever. I want one in my own house. I keep thinking, I wonder if they could do like games animated up there. Use each ceiling panel as a pixel. But anyway, I love conventions. I love cosplayers, and I just love seeing people, and it's the kind of thing where, I'll be in the elevator and I'll strike up a conversation with somebody because it's just like, oh hey, how's it going? Every time I see him at Doria, I always tell him, yeah, I'm gonna smash you unless there's water. Oh god, I love cons. And Youmacon, it's the biggest one I've been to, as a guest, and it's been so much fun.
Good. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
Cold, but fun.
It is. And speaking of cold, we are in Detroit. And this is your first time here.
Yes.
What do you think?
My brother-in-law's from Detroit, and he said, just so you know, it's going to be cold, and he was right. It's great. It's funny. I walked to the rent center the other day, and from the distance, it looks, it's not that far. It's a couple blocks.
You made the classic mistake.
I didn't realize it was a 70-story building. And so, it looks closer when you think it's only like half that size. But yeah, and it was cold and raining, and boy, howdy, I waited for the shuttle on the way back.
This is a smart move to do, or the people mover. A little train that goes around the downtown area.
Well, somebody warned me. They said if you get on the people mover and you miss your stop, you're going to be on it for a while because it only goes one way.
Yes. Yes, there is a loop. But you can always get off at the next station if you don't mind walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so have you had a chance to try any of the Detroit cuisine since you've been here?
No. I have like a very big schedule, and I've been all over the place, and I have maybe half an hour breaks in between, so there's not enough time to really try it out. So again, brother-in-law told me about the two rival hot dog places, and I have time tomorrow. I'm going to go check those out.
Right.
Yeah.
Which were they?
I can't remember. I just know that there are two rival hot dog places. I think one of them's. It's not Coney's. Is it? I can't remember.
We do have nationals. Basically, you can throw a penny and find a Coney Island around here. But there's a bunch of different types.
Yeah, I just know that there's two. It goes back like decades, and I want to try them both. So that's gonna be super hot dog lunch tomorrow.
So. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a little protein.
Yeah.
You got you've done a lot of anime.
Yeah.
You've done toy commercials.
Yeah.
And as far as video games, you are a big gamer.
Yes. Yes, I am.
What is your favorite genre of game? I know it's a loaded question. It's
James Franco gif. It's like I'm not the favorite genre. Oh gosh. To give you an idea, on the flight here, I played both Astral Chain and I finished Untitled Goose Game. I didn't finish it. I finished the main quest, and then I had done some of the also what you can do things, but it's the puzzle games. Yeah, puzzle games. I'm still powering through Kimono Friends P-Cross. I'm a Kimono Friends fan. I'm a huge fan of the show. Also hate the show. Racing games. Forza Horizon is my favorite. It's my favorite racing franchise. It really is. Adventure games, RPGs, pretty much everything except straight up sports. Now, if it's a fantasy sports like Mutant League Football or Super Baseball 2020, I thought about that. Super Baseball 2020, it's going to be next year. And we're short distance from 2020. We don't have exploding robots in baseball.
I believe there was actually an arcade called Ninja Baseball Batman. And it's a crazy title, but if you haven't had the chance to look into this game is exactly what you think it is.
Do they have it downstairs?
I don't believe they have it downstairs.
Oh.
It's a very older game,
Okay.
but it is just robots just swinging baseball bats. It's one of those side-scroller beat-em-ups.
Oh.
It's classic.
Yeah, Super Baseball is an old Neo Geo game, and they release an issue at the same time. I have a problem saying two words at once and then they reissued Super Baseball on consoles, so I downloaded that the day it went up. Yeah, that's a classic. I love that game.
Now, a lot of your roles have been smaller parts, like Merchant A, Knight B,
Ramen guy. Yeah.
And you can't judge a resume based on that. You're a jack of all trades of sorts. You help progress scenes along and verify that a certain scene is going on.
Yeah.
Those are very important parts.
For example, like in Dragon Ball Super, Raleigh, the director, he'll call me in and I need you to be the ramen guy. I need you to be the snacking ambassador. He was a lot of fun. Zeno's guards. Zuno, the smartest person in the universe who knows everything. It's for attendance. And I was the director in the Great Simon episode. They would call me in for when they need like 20 tiny bits to be filled up, but they all need to sound different. And I would kind of become known as doing character work. And so when I get a big character like Vanderdecken in One Piece, crazy fishman pirate, he was a lot of fun because he was just absolutely bonkers. He was all over the place. But then, a villain like Gel in Slime, who has this tragic backstory and cries, and Clifford Chapin directed the best performance out of me in Slime, and I'm still proud of that. I'm so proud of it. Anyway, I'm rambling off in every possible direction.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to know how your feelings on the subject too, because it's something that is your passion. It's your livelihood.
Yeah, because here's the thing, even if you're recording bit parts, you're working. That's a thing that you're doing, and I love doing what I'm doing. It's great. I put everything I have even into those bit parts. If it's a ramen, hey, we need more noodles over here.
We need those noodles.
Yeah.
Where are those noodles? Well, Jim, if anyone wanted to look more into what you've done or look into where you're going to be appearing, where can they reach you at?
You can reach me on Twitter. I'm literally Jim Foronda on Twitter. I'm sorry.
We have a bird.
Pointing.
We have a
bird in here.
We have a bird flying.
There's a bird in this room.
You haven't been cleared to ask questions in here. No, who invited Twitter?
Speaking of Twitter.
Speaking of Twitter,
yes. Twitter.
Yeah, it's Jim Foronda on Twitter at JimForonda. I was so glad I landed that because I found out later there is another Jim Foronda.
You mean
and
he put the real
DM'd me and said, "Why did you take my name?" I'm like, "This is the name I was born with. I'm sorry." He's cool about it. He went by Jimmy anyway, so there's a Jimmy Foronda out there. But no, I'm Jim Foronda. It's a boothie that I took, and so you'll know it's me. That's where I'll communicate and talk with folks. I do have a Jim Foronda video Facebook page, But
Who uses Facebook?
The thing is, it's a mess, and a lot of people they want to friend me on Facebook, but I keep my personal Facebook page for just like friends that I know in Meat Space and like family members. But if you follow me on Twitter, I chat with everybody. It's because I'm a yapper. I talk a lot.
Well, Jim, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you
out.
so much for having me. Youmacon has been awesome.
It's awesome!
Yeah, and it's just it's been so much fun. So much fun.
Well, Jim, hopefully we'll see you back here. I'd love to talk to you again.
I think
so
it's been great. I would love to come back.
All right.
All right,
Thanks.
that's a wrap, guys.
Awesome.
I panicked because I saw the bird and I was wondering if it was
I
going
saw
to
it
fly into
too.
the shot.
You need to leave that in. You need to leave that in.